Yo, sit your ass down. Here we go. Here we go. They call him Mr. Microsoft, not a man but a protocol, wrapped in human skin and philanthropic optics. A smiling interface over an operating system that maps populations like spreadsheets and debug logs. Charity is camouflage, algorithms is commandments, vaccines is brand extensions, and the world applauds the UI while the back end quietly rewrites definitions of consent and sovereignty. He doesn't need a throne, he runs frameworks that decide what thrones are made of. He doesn't need soldiers, he deploys narratives that recruit entire populations to police themselves. And every donation press release functions as a firewall against questions that never trend long enough to persist. The jab wasn't just medicine, it was a governance rehearsal mask as emergency. A global stress test for obedience, pipelines, supply chains, biometric trust models, and fear-driven compliance loops. Public health became public psychology, consent became a checkbox, dissent became an algorithmic anomaly. Flag for moderation, not because of evil cartoon villains, but because systems love crisis the way engines love fuel. Because emergencies compress debate into obedience, and speed is always prioritized over nuance. When profit meets panic, the world became a dashboard. Curves, graphs, projections, predictive models. Human lives reduced to variables and simulations that never admit uncertainty. Here we go.
Microsoft smiles while the back end updates reality. Here we go. Mr. Microsoft signs philanthropy while the firmware patches morality. Mr. Microsoft deploys the jab while the system deploys conformity. And nobody reads the terms because emergencies don't come with fine print.
Food systems redesign, seeds patented, agriculture turned into software, licensing agreements where farmers become end users and soil becomes intellectual property wrapped in corporate legal frameworks. Education rewritten, curricula sponsored, knowledge filtered through donors who fund the future that benefits the portfolio. Media partnerships, NGO symbiosis, government advisory board stacked with corporate architects. And the line between public good and private strategy dissolves into PowerPoint decks and policy white papers. He funds solutions to problems the system generates, monetizes virtue and audits morality like a quarterly report. They call it innovation, I call it permission architecture for planetary scale influence. He doesn't need to control you directly, he funds frameworks that define what control means. He doesn't censor, he sponsors institutions that decide what true sounds professional enough to survive. The real conspiracy isn't secret meetings, it's normalized influence. When billionaires become unelected policymakers, philanthropy becomes political leverage, and citizens vote for illusions while code and capital quietly dictate the actual policy landscape.
Mr. Microsoft smiles while the back end updates reality. Mr. Microsoft signs philanthropy while the firmware patches morality. Mr. Microsoft deploys the jab while the system deploys conformity. And nobody reads the terms because emergencies don't come with fine print.
Yo, data is the new land, patents are the new castle, subscriptions are the new tax. And then you live on platforms that harvest behavior the way medieval lords harvested crops. Health becomes a data pipeline, identity becomes an authentication token, freedom becomes a service tier. You think you opted in, you inherit a default environment designed before you knew language. And Mr. Microsoft doesn't need to be a villain to benefit from systems that reward consolidation over decentralization. The future isn't changed as dashboards where your autonomy is a KPI and your compliance is a growth measure. Your money to fight poverty, invest in structures that keep poverty profitable. Fund vaccines, fund patents, fund logistics, fund narrative, fund dependence, and call it saving the world while the world becomes a client base locked into perpetual updates. He's not a god, he's a node in a class that writes rules while the rest debate outcomes. And the real war isn't guns or viruses, it's architecture versus agency, systems versus human, efficiency versus ethics, spreadsheets versus soul.
Mr. Microsoft smiles while the back end updates reality. Mr. Microsoft signs philanthropy while the firmware patches morality. Mr. Microsoft deploys the jab while the system deploys conformity. And nobody reads the terms because emergencies don't come with fine print. Mr. Microsoft smiles.
Here we go.
Mr. Microsoft smiles.
Here we go.